Hello and welcome to CIS 4510 IT Project Management. In this session, we will address how to manage one of the most important resources in the project, which is people. In the last session, I had this slide with the list of different resources, and as listed, people is one of these resources. In addition, we talked about the tools needed to estimate resources to complete each activity. The selection will include looking at each activity and identify the skills needed. Identifying the skills needed, then identifying what we have on hand inventory within the company, we can develop what's called a skill matrix and match the level of expertise with skills required for each activity. It's like mapping process between what we have and what's needed. We can also develop what is called as resource breakdown structure as shown in the next slide. And as we did with the work breakdown structure, this is a resource breakdown structure. As seen here, we have a major project for application development where it includes the design, the programming, and the testing activities. For each activity, we list the positions needed. Based on that, we assign the proper resource to complete the required task. Projects could get complicated at that point. Resources need to be managed, which created the need for human resource management science. This science, the project human resource management or human resource management in general, includes the processes that organize, manage, and lead the project team. And of course, this is a definition that we got from the BMB book, which is Project Management Book of Knowledge, published by Project Management Institute. The number of involved members in a project and their type may change as the project progresses, of course. The project human resource management processes includes human resource planning as one of the first steps or phases. So we need to plan, which is the process of identifying and documenting project roles, responsibilities, and required skills. Then we need to see how reporting will be done and the reporting relationships between the team members and the management, and creating the staffing management plan. And for the staffing management plan, we need to look at acquiring the project team, which is getting the needed personnel that can accomplish project assignments, developing the project team, which is building individual and group skills to enhance project performance, managing the project team, which is tracking team member performance, motivating team members, providing timely feedback, resolving issues and conflicts, and coordinating changes to help enhance project performance. This process may also include identification of training needs, and at that point, scarce resources and their availability should be taken into consideration when developing a human resource plan. What do we need to know to develop a human resource plan? Of course, we need to know, or we need to develop the work breakdown structure, which gives me the different activities needed to accomplish the project. And that's something that we did in a previous session. We need also to identify the enterprise environmental factors, such as the culture and structure of the organization, existing human resources, personnel administration policies, and marketplace conditions. In addition, we need to know companies' assets such as standardized role descriptions, organizational templates, and historical information. There are special tools and techniques that can be used to assist in the development of the human resource plan, such as the skill and responsibility matrices, in addition to charts and documents, and we will talk about those things in details in the next few slides. Then we have network of professionals to exchange information and gain experience as needed, which will be also addressed in the next few slides. And the organizational theory, which studies the business and its interrelationship with the environment surrounding it. The hierarchical type chart, it has a resource breakdown structure, which includes the resources requirement or resources required for each activity. Also, we can map that to the organizational breakdown structure, which arranges according to existing departments and units. So we have the units and departments, we have the resources available, and then we can map resources to units and see which team will work in what area. Also, we can use the matrix based charts like the RAM, which is responsibility assignment matrix, or the RACI, which is responsibility accountability consultation informed matrix. And then also we can use the text oriented format, where we can write all these responsibilities in a document as just a report or paragraphs that explains who will do what. One of the documents that can be actually developed is a position description form, which can be used as a template for any excuse me, for any positions that's needed for a skill that's not available in-house. This is an example of an organizational chart, and as it gets complicated, more units, more jobs, more positions will be created, and more people will be involved. The skills identified will assist in developing the responsibility matrix, assigning each person to the proper activity using the work breakdown structure and the organizational breakdown structure. The RAM matrix, which is the responsibility assignment matrix, can be created in many different ways to match companies' or projects' needs. This is one example, which in this case it is mapping the work breakdown structure to the organizational units or organizational breakdown structure. The matrix assigns the responsibility and the performing units based on the desired skills for each activity. And as we see here, we have responsible organization unit and performing organizational unit. We refer to one as R and one as P, and you can see some of them has both responsibilities, and other units has the responsibility of the organization of the item, while the performing will be from a different unit. We can also use the responsibility assignment matrix to show stakeholders' role. In this case, you can see the different roles are abbreviated and assigned as shown in the table. We have like stakeholder that will be accountable, stakeholder that will be participant only, stakeholder that will review required, the unit review is required, or his or her review is required. Others, the input is required, and another group, which is sign off, is required. And the matrix shows the different responsibilities for each stakeholder, or different role for each stakeholder. The RACI matrix maps a group or a person role to an activity, and as we can see in this example, we have groups, different groups, and each group is assigned to do a different be responsible or be accountable or be consultant or be informed in one of these tasks or one of these activities. The tool of networking can be used to establish an informal or formal interaction between professionals in the organization. Those meetings and conferences is useful in brainstorming and information sharing. In addition, it can be used to train the project employees to gain the skills needed for the project. The organization theory provides information regarding the way in which people, teams, and organizational units behave and the way they interact with the surrounding environment. The structure and culture of the organization drive employee behavior and their individual performance. The staffing plan includes how the project being staffed, specifying the team members and the changes that will happen to the team during the project execution. During the development of the staffing management plan, the management team will consider staff acquisition. Do we have internally the people that we need, or do we need to contract with other companies from outside? Would the location be centralized and all the team members will be in one place, or are they going to work from distant locations? What will be the cost of expertise, and what will be the timing for acquiring this expertise? Resource calendar, which can be also represented by the histogram. We need to look at staff release plan, when and how to release a resource once it's done, or how it will be released during the execution of the project. Training needs, we need to specify or identify training needs. The recognition and rewards, which is a clear criteria that should be done or should be put in place. Dedicate a time to ensure recognition. Working from home as an incentive, for example, for some team members. All these could be rewards and recognitions that will be put in place and be acknowledged by the project manager and the upper management. Also, compliance strategies for complying with government regulations, union contracts, and human resource policies. And of course, we need to look at safety and the policies for safety policies and procedures that protect team members from any hazardous material or hazardous issues. The assigned employees by the project manager can be represented by a histogram chart that shows the number of resources assigned to each task in the project. This will assist in deciding the need for additional resources, or if I need to bring the employees overtime to finish the project either faster or to finish it within time if I'm late to meet one of the requirements due date. This is sample resource histogram that shows the number of people assigned over the period of the project execution. And as you can see here, we have managers, we have business analysts, we have programmers, we have technical writers, and it does show how many people, and then by looking at this I will know that I have enough resources, or I have enough people to achieve the activity, or do I need to bring them overtime or hire additional people. Once we have the plan in place with all the documents needed, we can start acquiring the project team. Acquiring the project team is the process of obtaining the team necessary to complete project assignment. A project manager may or may not have direct control over team member selection due to the use of subcontractors, matrix project environment, or other reasons. The project manager and the upper management should understand the consequences of the failure to acquire the necessary skills. It's very important to have that skill to finish that activity. If we don't have that skill, then that might lead to an extreme failure in project execution and the outcome of the project. At that point, alternative resources have to be identified if I can't get that resource in time. To acquire the project team, the following tools and techniques can be used. Pre-assignment, which is selecting project team members in advance. Negotiation skills or tools with the functional manager or other project management teams to be able to share scarce resources or get the resources that I need. Of course, the tool or the technique of outsourcing, which is a technique that is used when the organization lacks in-house skills and acquire needed team from outside resources. Virtual teams, which is a technique that is been widely used recently with advancement of technology and electronic communications, where actually I can get teams to participate from a distant place. The main goal of developing the project team is to improve team interaction and the overall team environment to enhance project performance. It takes teamwork to successfully complete most projects, and the project manager need to create a dynamic and cohesive team culture to improve both individual and team productivity. The tools and techniques used to develop the project team are interpersonal skills, which is we are talking about like empathy, influence, creativity, and group facilitation. Of course, we need also training to enhance team competencies. Team building activities such as Tuckman model for forming, storming, norming, and performing, and we'll talk about that later. And we have the ground rules, which is clear expectations regarding acceptable behavior by project team members. And of course, co-location, which is placing all or most team members in the same physical location. And last is the recognition and rewards, which is recognizing and awarding desirable behavior. If the team lacks the required skills of working in team environment, training will be the proper solution. Training can help people understand themselves and each other and understand how to work better in teams, which can be done through live sessions. We can do through computer based sessions or through online sessions. The project manager could also monitor employee behavior and coach them as needed on how to deal with other team members or with certain issues or with conflicts. In addition, the training can be used to train team members to gain certain technical skills if they lack that skill. To build the team, we can use Tuckman model of team building activities, which has 5 stages of development: the forming, the storming, norming, performing, and of course adjourning the team. When we say forming, it's the phase where the team meets and learns about the project and their roles and responsibilities. Storming is the phase where the team starts addressing project activities and technical issues. Norming is the phase where the team work together and adjust work habits and behaviors to support the team. Performing is the phase where team members work through issues smoothly and effectively, and adjourning is the phase where the team completes the work and moves on from the project to another one. The upper management and the project manager should create a team-based reward and recognition system, and that's a system that can promote teamwork and focus on rewarding teams for achieving specific goals. That will be all for this session. If you have any questions, you can call me, or you can send me an email, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you and have a great day.